Hello and welcome back, team, to another live stream. So it is Monday, the 8th of July. It is a new week. And of course, in today's live stream, we will be running through what is currently going on within Bitcoin, what we are kind of looking at this moment in time, and then kind of what we can expect from price in the next coming week or the next few weeks. Okay, so let's dive into it and initially see what is going on and see what we can kind of take advantage of. Right, that's that's the whole aim of the game. I have just realized that TradingView doesn't seem to be responding to me right now. We back? I believe we are back. TradingView just didn't want to respond to me. Okay, all right. I think it's all good now. Yeah, it's all good now. Okay, cool. So, before we jump into the analysis, before we take a look at what is going on, please make sure that you do smash that thumbs up button. It really helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you. And of course, if you want, you make sure that you do subscribe and turn that bell notification on, because I am doing live trading. Sometimes, okay, when the market conditions are there, I do live trading. Just to bring up some examples, okay, a few weeks ago, we took some really nice trades, okay, over the course of a week, okay, and I took like 3 trades live. All of those trades played out really, really nicely. So yeah, if you want access to me live trading, then make sure you subscribe, turn that bell notification on, because sometimes I am doing those live trading streams. But only when the market conditions are suitable for it, right? But enough of that. Let's jump into the charts. Let's see what is going on. Let's see what we can expect, and let's see for what those next trades can be for us, right? So let's jump straight on into it. So initially, right, let's just give some context. Okay, we are in bearish market structure. Okay, we are at this moment in time in bearish market structure. Okay, we of course formed that all-time high all the way up here at 74, just under, sorry, $74,000. Okay, and from there we have just been forming lower highs and lower lows, and of course over the course of the weekend, right, we did actually Friday afternoon, okay, we did actually Friday, when was this? Yeah, so Friday morning, we did see price actually make a new lower low, okay, confirming that we are still in this downtrend, okay, confirming that we are still in this bearish market structure. And remember, we also have this bearish Elliott wave count as well, okay, which is now completed. We have this bearish Elliott wave count which has now been completed. So wave 5 has been confirmed, because we did actually break below wave 3. Okay, so that's the context that we have, right? We're in bearish market structure. We've now completed this bearish Elliott wave count, right? Now, what we have to remember is that wave 5 has not confirmed to be finished here. It's not confirmed that wave 5 has finished here, right? There is still a possibility, okay, that we do come down a little bit further to complete wave 5. Right, we have to understand that. But at this moment in time, okay, because we have come to a key level of mine where I am actually interested in, taking a long trade, and I have actually taken a long trade from this level here. Okay, so I am currently long on Bitcoin. Um, yeah, I mean, wave five has been finished. Okay, so what we can kind of look for, right, is an ABC correction, right? We see this a lot. Okay, we see this a lot where we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish count or bearish count, wherever price may be going, whatever direction price may be going. But after that bullish or bearish count, we see an ABC correction in the opposite direction, right? To take a look at a prior example, right, we had this wave count, this bullish Elliott wave count here, right? We had the 1, we had the 2, we had the 3, okay, we had the 4, and then we had the 5, right? The wave 5 was ever so slightly taken out, okay, literally by a few dollars. But after that, what did we have? We had the ABC correction. Okay, so we had a big ABC correction on this pullback here. Let's just draw that out for you. You can see the ABC, and you can look at it like that, right? Or you can be looking at this being the A move, that being the C move, and that being the B move like that. Okay, however you want to take it. Either way, right, we had an ABC correction after that, right? So that's what we tend to look for after, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 count. Okay, whether it be bullish or bearish, right? We tend to look for an ABC correction, right? Now, of course, what has happened is we've come into this major level that, of course, I was interested in taking a long from, and I have taken a long off of this level. Now, I did tell the team on the Discord here. So I am entering into a very light long trade with minimal capital, as there is minor signs of strength, right? So what we have to understand here, okay, is that yes, there is a long trade setup, right? Yes, I am long, okay, and I am kind of looking for this ABC correction, but I'm only long with a very small amount of capital because what I wanted to see down here didn't really play out. Okay, let's just go back and take a look at a prior example. So the end of wave 3. Okay, I actually took a long trade, right? And I was talking about this in the Visionary Discord as well. Where do we go here? So yeah, this just takes us all the way back up to this long trade here, and there was just no noise to the long trade, right? There was absolutely no noise. I literally told the team I've taken the long trade, right? There was no I'm entering into this with lower capital, because there was no reason to be wary with this trade, right? With this trade, I had just full confidence. And in the daily market update, of course, I was explaining to the team why I was actually entering into this trade, or what I was looking for entering into this trade. And the context that we had back there was very different to the context that we have now. Okay, back there, right, we had millions. From what I can remember, it was like 88 million shorts coming into this low. Okay, and then what happened is price started to rise, telling us that there's a big institutional player here that is absorbing all of those sells into the market. Okay, and price is starting to rise because the shorts are now exhausted. Okay, but also, right, we have all of these shorts that are trapped at the low, and what do they have to do? Well, they have to actually cover, right, meaning that they buy back into the market, right, as price starts to rise. So, initially that adds fuel to the fire, pushes that price higher. Okay, and that's exactly what happened. You can see, I entered into that long trade there, and we got this huge move towards the upside that we took advantage of, which was just absolutely amazing, right? So this is what I wanted to see, okay, here, right? This is what I wanted to see, just for that simple long trade, okay? The simple long trade with really the fills me with that confidence, right, that we are going to see higher prices. However, we didn't get that into the level, right? If we take a look at the order flow, let's take a look at it on a higher time frame, so it's a little bit easier to see, right? What we saw, right, was lots of longs getting wrecked into the level. Okay, lots of longs getting wrecked on the pullback. You can see because we have open interest massively decreasing with lots of negative delta. Okay, we have 45 million, we have 24 million, 33 million, 17 million, all of that negative delta. Okay, with open interest decreasing, so we know that these are longs closing, right? We can also see by the rect setting here as well that lots of longs, okay, these big green bubbles are indicating to us that lots of long trades are getting wrecked. And, for me, this is not like it's not giving us like a strong sign that we are going to get this big move up. Okay, because we understand, right? Yes, we see lots of sells coming into the market. Prices then started to rise, telling us that there is absorption here. Okay, all of these sells are being absorbed by a bigger player. Okay, and then there's no more longs to stop out really. Okay, because prices then started to reverse. But what we like to look for, okay, and what I looked for when I entered into the long trade back here, is that we had a valid reason for price to continue to rise, okay, after the failed auction, okay, because we had lots of trapped shorts at the low. However, here, we don't have any trapped shorts at the low. We didn't have any shorts coming in at these lows here. We can actually pull up the next shorts as well, and you can see we only had we didn't have any new shorts coming in, right? You can see here we didn't have any new shorts coming in, right? Shorts were closing, right? That's what we had, and we also had longs coming into the market, longs closing, right? So we had no new shorts coming into the market. We didn't really have any new longs coming in on the move down either. Okay, so for me, there was just no reason for price to rise here. Okay, meaning that yes, we formed a failed auction here, so I can take that long entry as like a slight sign of strength, but we have no real confidence that price is going to rise here. Again, that's why I've entered into this trade with very minimal capital. Okay, because I understand that the only reason for price to rise here, okay, the only way that price can actually rise from here is if we have new long trades coming in, okay? New long trades are the only way that price can rise from here because there are no shorts to stop out. There are no shorts to liquidate, right? There are no shorts to close, which would add fuel to the fire and push that price higher. Okay, so at this moment in time, I'm remaining a little bit cautious, and I'm just thinking to myself, right, okay, if we're not going to get the longs in, okay, then price is actually most likely going to continue lower, right? So we have to, remain a little bit aware of that. Price can continue lower from here. Okay, unlike here, where we formed a failed auction, we had lots of trap shorts at the low. From there, right, the highest probability move was actually up, okay, because there was so many trap shorts at that low. Here we don't have that, so we don't have the same confidence. We don't have the same trade. We don't have the same, reason for price to rise. Okay, we don't have the same reason for price to rise. If we start to see lots of longs coming in, okay, then that's when I can say, okay, we can see higher prices from here, and we can look, towards our first target, which is around like $60,000. Okay, which is at the value. Let's just bring that up, which is at the 63,000, right? Sorry, 63,000, where we have that first target of value area low for that TP1 on this long trade, right? That's where I target that TP1 first, okay? So right now, it's like remaining patient, waiting to see whether we are going to get those longs coming in. And I mean, if we do get those longs coming in and we do start to see the signs of strength coming into the market, then I understand that is when I can start to actually add to this trade, right? I'm interested in adding to the long trade that I took, okay? I am interested in that. I was also telling the team here, was it on here? Oh, was it in the daily market update? Major sign of strength, but if I start to see it, then I may add to the trade. So here, I'm saying if I start to see major signs of strength, that's when I can add to the trade. Okay, and what I was saying in the market update this morning, right, was that if we were to come up to the VWAP, which we actually did, okay, I'm looking at the monthly VWAP here because the monthly VWAP has been holding the price down throughout this whole month, and it's done the exact same thing today, right? If we zoom in, we can see we came up to that monthly VWAP, tapped it to the dollar, and I mean to the dollar, okay, and we have rejected off of it, okay. So you can see that this level is of high importance for us, and this is what I was telling the team this morning. If we can reclaim this, right, this is a sign of strength for me, and I can look to add to that trade, and then I can look for like $63,000 to then take some profit off of that table. Okay, if we don't off of the table, right, if we don't reclaim this level, we continue to get rejected from it, then I think lower prices, are most probable, right? I think we could see lower prices here. So yeah, it's just remaining a little bit cautious. Okay, if I start to reclaim this, I can add to that trade and I can look for higher prices. But if we're going to continue to remain below this VWAP, then it really doesn't look too good for Bitcoin, okay? Because then we can continue this bearish market structure that we are in, making another lower low, okay? And we can get an even bigger move towards the downside, right? Possibly to 51,700 and possibly even all the way down to $43,000, where we have that much bigger target. So yeah, it's very crucial for Bitcoin right now that we do break above this VWAP. If we don't, then yeah, it can look quite bad for Bitcoin. So yeah, I mean that's kind of what I'm looking at this moment in time, right? We need to claim that level. We need to get some strength on that break of the level. If we don't do that, then yeah, it's really not looking too good for Bitcoin at this moment in time. So yeah, it's just remaining cautious, okay, looking for those signs of strength. Once we see the signs of strength, okay, then I can start to add to that long trade that yeah, I have entered into. So it's just patience, really, right? And I mean, if we do start to, if I opt out of this and we do start to see lower prices, I think the next target, the next target I'm looking for is really 51,700. I've talked about this level a lot, where we have. I really need to clean out my object tree here, but yeah, we have this POC here. This POC, yeah. So we have the POC from the range from here. We also have a monthly naked point of control at that level as well. So for me, if we're seeing lots and lots of shorts coming into this level, price starts to reclaim this, right? I can look for that long trade, right? I can look for like a bullish reaction there, because then I know, okay, there's absorption happening. We have lots of trap traders. Okay, we're reclaiming a nice, strong level, and from there, okay, I can look for that long trade, possibly off of $51,700. Okay, where I can look for a long trade there. But I have to, wherever I take a long trade from, I have to remain cautious, okay? Because at this moment in time, we're in this constant, right, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Okay, and it could just be another rise for another lower high, where we then get pushed much lower. Okay, so any long trade that I'm taking at the moment, right, I am being very cautious. Okay, entering into this trade with lower capital to start off with, then increasing the capital into the trade once I start to see the signs of strength. But also, when taking profits on these trades, I'm understanding as well, right? We have lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Okay, so I will be expecting another lower high. Okay, so I will be looking to take a TP1 a little bit earlier. Okay, that's kind of the plan that I have, right? Monthly VWAP is always a good TP1. Okay, monthly VWAP at the moment, because that's continuously holding the price down at this moment in time. Another good take profit level would be an anchored VWAP from the start of the waterfall, right? Because of course that is holding price down as well. So if you're looking for long trades, we just have to be cautious of like take profits. We can't get too greedy, because again, price is just in this continuous lower high structure and this continuous lower low structure as well. So it is looking very, very bearish at this moment in time. And then remember, we're now continuously we've now continued this bearish market structure on the higher time frame as well. So we have this higher time frame bearish market structure, which could be a sign for a much bigger reversal, possibly down to like $43,000, right? And again, like I know, I know what the thumbnail says, right, and I know what the title says, okay, but it is just a little bit of clickbait. I understand that, but what the reality of it is that $43,000 all the way down here is a pretty realistic target, and we can still remain in this bull market, right? We remember, okay, we remember very clearly what happened in 2021, right? Right, this pullback was like a 45% pullback. Okay, this pullback here is only like a 22% pullback. Right, let me just fact check myself here. What was this? Okay, sorry, a 55% pullback here, right? And the pullback that we are having right now is only a 27% pullback. Right, so this is a very minor pullback in the bigger market context, right? It's a very minor pullback, okay, and a pullback down to 43,000. That would only be a 42% pullback, right? So initially, okay, we can still get that pullback to $43,000, right? And then from there, we can see price actually get this really nice strong bounce again, take us all the way back up to all-time high. I'm still aware of this, okay? So I understand that, yes, price is looking bearish right now, but it doesn't mean it is the end of the bear market. If we start to lose $43,000, that's when I will be talking about, okay, the bear market is probably over here. We can look for much lower price targets, okay? And we can expect, a long period of consolidation down at these lows again, okay? Maybe not all the way down at these lows. Maybe it could be around, 27, 28, 29, $30,000. Maybe we could see it around there. Okay, that's where the bear market could be. Okay, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. I understand that, right? But yeah, I just want to draw out all of the scenarios, right? Because it is possible that we do lose these levels, and if we do lose these levels, we need to be prepared for it. Okay, we do need to be prepared for it. But at this moment in time, okay, we do have support below us at 51,700, and then we do have support below us at $43,000 as well. Strong support. Okay, so for me, there's nothing to be too worried about unless we lose $43,000. That's when, I say I get worried. I'm not going to be getting worried, okay, because I understand I'm prepared for it. But it's just when, we have to think, right, okay, the bull market's probably over here. We can expect much lower prices, $27,000 possibly, for a long period of consolidation until that next bull market comes around. For me, do I think that's going to happen? No. To be honest with you, what I think is going to happen is something similar to what happened in 2020 and 2021. Well, in 2021 actually, where we get that big bull market dump, okay, and then that big bull market rally again, okay, taking us back up to all-time high. So this is kind of something that I'm looking for to happen here, right? Come down to $43,000 for another rise up, right? That's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay, right, so like $80,000, right? Then we see price pullback from there for the bear market. Okay, that's kind of what I would be looking for. So yeah, we'll just have to see how that plays out. Okay, we'll have to see how that plays out. But yeah, for now, right, as long as we remain above $43,000, I'm still in the mindset that we're in the bull market. Okay, and there's still a possibility that we could actually rise from here and go to all-time high. I do also understand that. At this moment in time, it's not looking likely. Okay, it's actually looking likely that we're going to go to lower prices unless we start to see coming in, right? If we start to see new long, okay, then that's when I can bullish, bullish again on Bitcoin. Yes, okay, but again, I've entered into a very, very, very small long position. So if I get stopped out, I'm not too worried about it whatsoever, because I still understand that we are showing some signs of strength, but just no major sign of strength. Okay, back here we showed major sign of strength. Okay, on that reclaim, because we had lots of trapped shorts at the lows. Okay, up here we had major signs of bearishness. Okay, because we had lots of trapped longs at the high. Here, there was major signs of weakness because we had lots of trap longs at the high. Okay, here, right, we don't have trap longs. We had trap shorts at the high. Trap longs at the high. Sorry. Here, okay, we don't have trap shorts at the lows. Okay, so there is no major sign of strength. Okay, there is no reason for price to rise here because there are no shorts to cover, to buy back into the market and to push the price higher. So it's a little bit more of a complicated trade down here. It's a little bit more of a complicated trade, but yeah, it can still play out, right? Remember, wave 5 has ended. We formed that failed auction. Okay. Yes, we've broken back below it, but we formed the failed auction originally. Okay, so we're starting to see signs of strength now. Okay, we can be looking for that possible ABC correction. Okay, that is what we expect to see after. Okay, after a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish or bearish count. Okay, so we understand. Okay, there's a possibility that wave 5 has ended here. We can be getting the ABC correction here. Okay, if it hasn't ended here, right, we'll look for wave 5 to come down a little bit lower, and then we can look for that long trade at lower prices. Okay, because we have levels to long lower. Okay, we do have 51,700. That's a level that I'm interested in taking along from, and then of course we have $43,000 as well, which I'm also interested in longing as well. The ES is looking really strong. The ES is just continuing to make new all-time highs. But Bitcoin is not doing what the ES is doing. Bitcoin is pulling back. Now, we do tend to see Bitcoin actually follow the stock market, but we're not actually seeing that at this moment in time. I also like to quite look at Nvidia as well, because recently Nvidia has been the bull market in the stock market. Okay, and that's kind of been bringing the stock market up, but we're just not seeing that within Bitcoin. We're not seeing the the confluence with the with it, which is stock market is making continuous all-time highs. Back in 2021, we were kind of the same thing, right? Stock market was just making continuous higher highs. Bitcoin was doing the exact same thing. Okay, Bitcoin was doing literally the exact same thing. Of course, we had the pullback here. So when was this? So this was 12th of April to start of July. 12th of April to start of July. Yeah, so I mean, the stock market even continued to rise as Bitcoin was pulling back here. So this kind of makes me believe that what happened in 2021 is going to happen once again here, right? Where we get this big pullback, like a 50% pullback, and possibly down to like 43,000, possibly even $40,000, and then we get the big rise up to all-time high again. This is, I'm kind of thinking that this is a high possibility, right? Because we saw this back here where the stock market was just making all-time high after all-time high after all-time high. All right, we can see this. Then once we got to the 12th of April, right? So we had the 12th of April here on the stock market. Let's just mark that out. Okay, so we had the 12th of April, like around this area here. Okay, around that area. Okay, and what happened after that? Okay, up until where was this? 21st of June. Let's call it the 19th of July, roughly. Like here. Okay, so what happened? Okay, as Bitcoin was pulling back. Okay, what happened in the stock market? Well, the stock market continued to rise. Okay, you can see here. Okay, yes, the stock market had a little bit of a pullback here, but initially it continued to rise as Bitcoin was having this big pullback, right? Then the stock market continued to rise, continued to make all-time highs. Okay, what did Bitcoin do after that, right? It continued to have its, well, sorry, it started another rise towards the upside and then made another all-time high. Okay, and what is happening right now? Okay, well, the stock market is continuing to rise towards the upside. What is Bitcoin doing? Well, Bitcoin is pulling back. Okay, so this leads me to believe that the stock market is going to continue to go up. Bitcoin is going to have this big pullback, right? Back down to possibly like $43,000. Then we get this huge rise, okay, with the stock market continuing to make all-time highs, right? Then we see Bitcoin make another all-time high. Okay, and this, this is what leads me to believe it, because it's happened back in 2021, right, where we saw the stock market continue to rise. Bitcoin had a big dump. Okay, and we're seeing the same thing now, right? The stock market is continuing to rise, but Bitcoin is having this big pullback. So yeah, it just leads me to believe that Bitcoin can pull back, right? It just gives us another big buying opportunity for another huge move towards the upside, right? That's kind of what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. So, I'm not really too worried about this. It just gives me another opportunity to just buy some more at much lower prices. Because of course, I took a lot of profit off of the table up here, off of, the Bitcoin that I accumulated from the bear market, right? So, it gives me an opportunity, right, to reinvest that, okay, at lower prices, which for me is a really nice opportunity. So, this is kind of what I believe is going to happen. So, we'll have to see how it plays out. Of course, we could see Bitcoin actually rise from here, okay, but I do still think, right, it's valid. And I think everyone's going to get immensely bearish, which everybody did back here. Okay, which will actually turn the market bullish, right? We get this huge pullback. Everybody thinks Bitcoin is going back down to 15K, and then we get the rise towards the upside, right? That's kind of what I will be looking for. So I think I've gone through all of the analysis. So of course, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. But again, Bitcoin had this huge pullback in 2021, but the stock market continued to rise. Then Bitcoin made another all-time high. We're seeing the exact same thing here, right? Stock market is continuing to rise. Bitcoin is having a big pullback, right? Take us down to $43,000. Let's buy lots more Bitcoin, okay? Stock market continues to rise, okay? Bitcoin's probably going to go to a new all-time high. So that's kind of what I see in the long term for Bitcoin at this moment in time. This is just a buy the dip opportunity, right? This is literally just a buy the dip opportunity. I am not worried about, however, I'm not worried about Bitcoin going to $15,000, right? I'm not extremely bearish on Bitcoin. I'm bearish on Bitcoin at this moment in time because I do believe like $43,000 is a very valid target. Okay, but it doesn't, like, I'm not here saying that the bear market is over. Okay, That's not what I think. Okay, if we break below $43,000, that's the line in the sand for me, right? $43,000. If we lose that, okay, and we lose that with weakness, okay, that is when I believe, okay, much lower prices are coming, okay, because if we pull if we pull our parallel channel, okay, you know, I was talking about this a very long time ago as well, when we actually formed this swing failure pattern. So I was talking about this all the way back in March, okay, when we formed this swing failure pattern of the range high. And I said, right, and you can go back and you can check it from the live streams as well. I said, right, this was on a lower time frame. I would have taken the trade, right? I did actually short the all-time high, okay, but not because of this possible trade setup here. I shorted it because of a lower time frame setup, right? But I shorted the all-time high, and you know, this in itself was a short trade from $69,000. Okay, it was. If this chart was on an 8-hour, you know, a 4-hour, a 2-hour, a 1-hour, a 30-minute, I would have taken this short trade with my stop loss at the all-time high, okay, this high, any day of the week, right? I would have taken this trade any day of the week, and you know, this was like that first sign of weakness up there. Okay, and I'm just viewing this as a range. Okay, we have mid-range here, right? Mid-range is always a strong support level. So if we lose the mid-range, okay, which is at, okay, if we lose, let's just get rid of these for a sec. If we lose the mid-range, which is at $43,000, approximately like $43,000, right, then I'm looking for range low, which is all the way back down at $15,000. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, right, if we lose $43,000, we can see much lower prices. Okay, and you know, we have major levels there, right? We have you know, a major POC at that level. Okay, we also have a major naked point of control at that level as well. So there is, you know, this is this is like the line in the sand for me for the bear market. Okay, so if we lose this for the bull market, sorry, if we lose this, bear market's here, much lower prices. You know, initially, right, we should be targeting like $15,000 because this is just simple range trading. Okay, do I think it will come down there? I can't really say because, you know, we do have a major level down there as well, $28,000, right? That's a major level of support for me as well. So we could actually see the bear market, you know, let's say we do come into the bear market, we could see the bear market, you know, hover around like 27 to, you know, 28 to 30,000 possibly. Okay, you know, hover around there for however long it wants to, and then we get a new bull market. Okay, you know, that's where we could see it. But again, you know, I just want to reiterate, I'm not going to be looking at the bull market being over until we lose that level, right? If we don't lose that level, okay, I'm still sat in the scenario that we go to a new all-time high. Okay, that's where I'm sat. So yeah, again, on this move down, let's not get extremely fearful. Okay, remember, you know, we're not here to trade like retail traders. We understand we are retail traders, but we also understand that 95% of retail traders lose money. Okay, so we don't want to trade like those retail traders. Okay, we want to trade like the institutions. Okay, when the institutions see a big pullback like this, they're not selling, they're not getting fearful. What are they doing, right? They're buying. Okay, so you know, I'm looking for these major levels, okay, where I believe that these institutions are going to be buying, okay, and I'm looking to take the trades off of those levels, right? Again, you know, $43,000 is a big level for me that I want to look to long. Okay, also 51,700, that's a big level that I'm interested in taking along from as well. So it's just patience, waiting for those levels. We're seeing lots of fear in the market, okay, then price starting to rise, indicating in the market, okay, and then we have lots of if we have lots of trap shorts at the low, price starts to rise. We first of all, okay, have fearful short trades opening up, okay, FOMO short trades opening up, price then starts to rise. Then we have even more fearful short trades, okay, because they have the fear that Bitcoin is in a bear market. Okay, and they're going to miss out on this huge move down. But then on top of that, they're now in a losing trade. They're underwater. They're offside. Okay, so that just adds to their fear as well. And this creates severely emotional retail traders, severely emotional retail traders. And what they tend to do, okay, is the only option that they have, okay, which is to close out of their position because they're immensely fearful. They've lost a lot of money as it is, okay, because first of all, they've missed the move towards the downside, right? They've shorted the low, price has started to rise, so they're now in a losing trade, okay? And they're just completely emotional, right? They're pulling the hair out. What have they got to do? What's their only option? Well, their only option is to close the short trade, which is buying back into the market, pushing the price higher, right? So I want to look for a reaction, okay, where we have lots of shorts at the low, okay? We have absorption because price is rising, even though lots of shorts are coming in, okay? And for me, once we start to see some of those short trades cover, right, that's the long trade setup for me. So that's kind of like the reaction that I want to look for, right? If I see this at 51,700, I can look for the long trade there. If I don't see that there, okay, then I will look for $43,000 for the possible reaction there and the possible long trade from there, okay? So it's just remaining patient, checking the reaction at each level. And I mean, here is like a prime example of, kind of when we haven't seen that play out, right? So, of course, I have taken the long trade because I've seen slight signs of strength. Okay, but back here, right, we had lots of shorts opening up. Price started to rise. So for me, there was absorption occurring here. We then had lots of emotional traders down here, retail traders, okay, who would have to cover from their short trade, meaning they have to buy back into the market, which gave me that long trade setup. Okay, if we go and take a look at it, right, which gave me this long trade setup right here, okay, which I told the team I've taken the long trade, right? Then we got that big rise towards the upside, okay, made some really nice profits on that, and we actually had a pretty impulsive move after entering into that long trade. You can see, pretty quickly I took $2,000 profit off of that trade, moved the stop loss to entry, making it a risk-free trade, but that was just, a really nice trade. Went up to value area low, broke above value area low. And yeah, it was just an absolutely amazing trade, right? We came all the way up to that POC up here, the mid-range of the parallel channel here, and then price just continued to go much higher, right? We then came to the POC, and then we actually broke that POC towards the upside. Taking some intraday trades there, and then we came up to the value area high all the way up at 70K. So, that was just an amazing trade, which had an absolutely amazing trade setup, right? An absolutely amazing trade setup because we had millions of shorts opening up here. Okay, everybody was extremely fearful. Price started to rise. Okay, meaning that we had millions of emotional traders, millions of traders that were most probably going to have to cover, okay, and they did have to cover because price had this big rise up, and there was just a very strong reason for price to rise here, okay. But like I was telling the team in the daily market update, we don't have a strong reason for price here, which is why I've entered into a long trade with like full capital. Okay, here, I was confident on the trade, so I entered into the trade with just my regular capital. Here, I've entered into a very small long trade, right? It's, it's almost not worth being in a long trade, okay? But I've entered into a very small long trade here because I still understand, right? There's slight signs of strength, okay? There is slight signs of strength, but we're not seeing the shorts down here, okay? We're not seeing aggressive shorting here. We're not seeing like super fearful traders down here. Okay, we're not seeing the shorts coming in, so we don't have the trap traders. We don't have reason for price to rise because there's no shorts to cover. Okay, this move down was literally fueled by longs getting wrecked. Okay, again, I've showed this so many times, right? We can see lots of this huge decrease of open interest, millions of negative delta, okay, 45 million negative delta, 24, 33, 17, all negative delta, and the rec setting as well, lots of big green bubbles, which indicate to us that lots of long trades are getting wrecked. Okay, you can see it here, net shorts, all right, no shorts, no new shorts are opening, net longs, no new longs are opening. So these are all trades that are closing on this move down. Okay, all trades that are closing on this move down. So there was no interest to to long here. There was no interest to short here. Okay, so for me, there wasn't any interest really to take a trade in. Okay, there's no real reason for price to actually rise towards the upside from here. Okay, which is why I still think we could go to lower prices. Because again, there's no real reason for price to rise unless we start to see lots of longs coming in. And we're not seeing lots of longs coming into the market. And we're actually seeing price reject off this major level, okay, which is the monthly VWAP. We tested it today perfectly. We've seen a huge rejection off of the level, right? So there is no major strength at this moment in time, okay? Absolutely no major strength at this moment in time. So there is no reason for me to be entering into a long trade with my usual capital, right? Because I just don't have much confidence down here in price rising. Okay, I just don't have much confidence in that. So yeah, for me, I do still think lower prices can occur. Does it mean the bear market is here? Does it mean the bull market is over? Absolutely not. Okay, we could get a move down to $43,000, $42,000, and for me, Bitcoin is still very bullish and still has a possibility to reach all-time highs. Okay, because we saw this in 2021. Okay, we have to go off of historical data, right? That's what we have to go off of, right? We had the huge move up. Stock market was having a huge move up as well. Okay, huge move up on the stock market. Started to have this big pullback. Stock market continued to rise. Okay, that's signified by these pretty ugly ones that I've drawn on the chart here. Right, stock market continued to rise whilst Bitcoin had the big pullback. Right. Then Bitcoin started to have a big rise towards the upside. What was the stock market doing? Was the stock market was making continuous all-time highs. We then reached the top. We had the bear market here of the stock market, okay, and the bear market of crypto, okay, after we formed the all-time high on the stock market and the all-time high on Bitcoin, okay, we had this big bear market here, okay, which of course Bitcoin and the ES, followed together perfectly, right? The 10th of October, 2022. So that's kind of where the stock market bottomed out around here, right? That's roughly where Bitcoin bottomed out. Okay, what has been happening ever since? Rise, 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 rise. Okay, rise, 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 rise. Pull back, right? Again, what happened in 2021? Bitcoin had this big pullback. Stock market continued to rise. The stock market was still incredibly bullish. Okay, so for me, if the stock market is going to continue to rise as Bitcoin pulls back, I'm still expecting another all-time high on Bitcoin. Okay, there's no reason not to expect an all-time high on Bitcoin. Okay, if the stock market is continuously making new all-time highs, right? So for me, a big pullback here is just literally a buy the dip opportunity, long the dip opportunity. I will be looking for a really nice big long trade if we do come down to like $43,000, $42,000, right? For me, Bitcoin is very bullish. Okay, this pullback here is a very bullish pullback for me. It's just a buy the dip opportunity, right? As long as the stock market, of course, stays bullish, right? If we start to see a big correction on the stock market, and of course Bitcoin is pulling back as well, that's when we can get worried, not necessarily worried, okay, because we should be prepared for this, okay, but that's when we can get bearish on, a lot more bearish on Bitcoin. But at this moment in time, still very bullish, right? Of course, if you've got any questions, please put them in the chat. If you want me to look at anything, please put them in the chat as well. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button as well. I would really appreciate that. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring you this content. But yeah, been live for almost 50 minutes. So yeah, if you've got anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to look at, please put that in the chat. And I'll be more than happy to, take a look at that. And of course, I'm quite happy to see what your guys' input into the market is as well. I do find a lot of value out of that. But yeah, I mean, if there are no questions, if there's nothing you want me to look at, I'll probably leave that there, because I think I've talked about everything. Yeah, I want to talk about. I think I've covered everything. So yeah, I'll give it a little minute, and we'll see. Ethereum, I haven't taken a long trade on Ethereum. I was just looking at this as a possible long trade, and I didn't take the long trade on Ethereum because I just didn't see any sign of strength on Bitcoin. Right, I know I entered into a small long trade on Bitcoin, But again, I just didn't see any major sign of strength. So I just don't want to, yeah, um, over expose myself to the market when I don't see major signs of strength. There's no reason for that whatsoever. Okay, I can see Eric. Good to see you back. Good to see you back, my friend. Nice to see you again. Yeah, it's lovely to see you back as well. It's not easy to trade right now, not at all. A lot of FUD, low summer volatility, and it's easy to manipulate the markets. Do you trade any altcoins? So yeah, it's not easy to trade at this moment in time whatsoever. I do understand that it's a little bit of a difficult to look for those trades because, of course, yeah, we're seeing lower volatility, which doesn't help. Okay, it doesn't help whatsoever because, of course, we want to see lots of volatility. We want to see lots of traders being on the same side of the market as well, right? Exactly like we had here, exactly like we had here, and exactly like we had here, and exactly like we had here as well. And again, there's an example there as well, and it was like we had just amazing trades from there because there was high volatility, high volume. Okay, everybody was on the same side of the market, so we could counter trade them. So yeah, now is a little bit difficult because we're not seeing that here. We're at a major level. We would expect to see that, but we're not seeing that. So yeah, it's a little bit annoying, but again, we have to adapt to what the markets are doing. And yeah, it is easier for institutions to manipulate the market when there is lower volatility, definitely. But then again, it goes back to what I say a lot of the time, where of course, you can call it manipulation, like we call it manipulation, yeah, but you have to remember everybody's in this market for themselves. Okay, big players, big institutions, all they're doing, okay, and all they actually can do is set a big buy limit order. They can't enter into market orders, okay, because their sizing is too big, right? They don't have the liquidity there. So of course they are like trying to draw price to that liquidity, okay, but they are literally just setting a big buy limit order, or for example here, like a big buy sell limit order, sorry, a big sell limit order, and they are like the catalyst for the move, so they absorb all the price action. Okay, but then it is initially the retail traders who move the market, right? Because they cover from their positions, and altcoins at the moment. I'm not really trading any altcoins. Ethereum, I haven't actually taken any trades on any altcoins in a while, to be honest with you. Ethereum is the one that I was previously trading, but yeah, I haven't really been trading altcoins recently. I do need to start trading some altcoins. I understand that, but yeah, recently I've just been really enjoying trading Bitcoin. It's just been really quite easy to predict, especially on this higher time frame. But yeah, I do understand. I need to start looking at these altcoins as well and start trading these altcoins because I know that these are what a lot of you want to see as well. Altcoin trading because that's where a lot of profit can be made, right? The altcoins, a lot of profit can be made in the altcoins. So yeah, I will try my hardest. I'm gonna wait, to be honest, till Bitcoin is a little bit more stable once we're at a support, and I can look to start to long some of these altcoins that I have saved, because yeah, I'm not going to long any altcoin that. Yeah, that was the Pepe long that we were looking at, but yeah, I'm not going to long any altcoins whilst Bitcoin is looking very weak like this. I want to see major signs of strength on Bitcoin before I start to look at long trades on altcoins. So yeah, of course, I will let you know if I start to trade any altcoins. But yeah, I will probably leave that there. Been live for almost an hour now. So yeah, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow for the usual live stream. So I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.